Should be 25 cars going 30 laps. The Hasty Bake Grill's Kansas City Clash for $20,000 to win. Tony, we've got an interesting front row here. Austin McCarl looking for that first ever National Touring Sprint Car win. He's ran second with the Outlaws twice. He's ran second with us before. And Kerry Madsen up there as well, looking for his first National Touring Sprint Car win since October 8th of 2021 at the Port Royal Speedway. If either of those guys can pull it off, this should be interesting to see how those two fare in this race with Madsen and McCarl, two guys that are very familiar with the Knoxville Raceway, both former track champions there. Rico starts in third. We do have a little bit of an issue, race fans. We do need an ambulance to be available. The ambulance that was on site is tending to an issue in the pit area or somewhere else on the facility right now, so they are worrying about that, and we cannot go green until we have an ambulance available. So we're waiting for that ambulance to make its way back to the infield, and once that happens, we can then push off the cars. We want to make sure we are as safe as we possibly can here tonight at Lakeside Speedway. But looking over this starting lineup, a couple of other guys to keep an eye on here, Tony. Tyler Courtney is one that I want to watch for here. He's going to start sixth, so a pretty good starting position here. But Tyler Courtney's second in the high-level racing point standings, but has not gotten a win yet so far this year. He's ran second. He's been in the top 10 every race except for one. Tyler Courtney is desperately looking for a win, but he's got to do it from the outside of row 3.
Chase, we're moving around to make sure we don't have any interference here. I know you were talking about Tyler Courtney, but while you were doing that, I was leaning inside the roll cage of the Tarleton machine driven by Tanner Holmes. He rolls off in that number 21 machine in the 15th position. I asked him the same question as Rico Abreu, because what else would you ask these guys down the front straightaway? I asked him, what are you about right now? He, pretty similar answer, getting to the front and running as well as they could here tonight. I asked him, what are the keys to victory here tonight with Kubota High Limit Racing at Lakeside Speedway? The driver from Jacksonville, Oregon, Tanner Holmes, who, by the way, he's a YouTube sensation. Chase, I know that might ruffle your feathers as you are up and coming, as the kids say, on YouTube. But Tanner Holmes, he's got that market cornered, dog. Tanner Holmes told me he thinks he's going to need to be very aggressive on the start. All of these drivers are already concerned about what this track might do over the course of a 30-lap feature. So Holmes said, especially considering the fact that he's starting 15th, he's have to work his way and pass as many cars as quickly as he can. It's a lap run, a 4/10 mile oval. You're already going to have your hands full.
Like
Tanner Holmes put a little bit extra pressure on himself already before we even go green.
Yeah, he's certainly got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and get the job done. Yeah, and we can't not talk about Kyle Larson here in this one. He's going to be the Durst Dice Roll driver, trying to win it for back-to-back races. Now, we went 8 races before we finally saw that Durst Dice hit for the first time this year. I think I did the math last year. The dice roll hit once every, I think it was every 9 or every 5. I'm getting the numbers. I did the math, but I'm bad at math. I think it was every 5 or every 9. It hit like 9 times last year. We have not seen it until Texas on Saturday. Kyle Larson, obviously one of the best guys you can have to try and get that dice roll win if your name is Robert Anderson down in the grandstand. So Larson starts 5th. He's never been able to win here at Lakeside Speedway. His best ever finish was a 2nd place run. That was last year here with High Limit Racing. He was also 3rd on the other night with High Limit. And then in 2023, he was 5th here. So never been worse than 5th at Lakeside for Larson, but has yet to go to victory lane. And that would be a pretty cool way to do it, to be the Durst Dice Roll driver and get it done.
Chase, again, I'm going to apologize because I wasn't listening to you. I was talking to drivers down here on the front straightaway, but this time it was not a very productive conversation. Brian Brown waved me over quickly, hurriedly even, to the roll cage of his Casey's FVP number 21. He pulled me in close. I thought maybe I'm about to learn something very important. He told me, your fly's down. And then I freaked out and said, thank you. He goes, I'm just messing with you. So, we got drivers down here. A lot of them are thinking different things.
Just kidding.
Tanner Holmes, Rico Abreu,
He was
trying
joking.
to figure out how quick they got to get to the top, if they should shake and or bake right after the green flag flies, hashtag hasty bake. Brian Brown, he feels good. He's a little bit loose. He's messing with me. So we're going to walk around and see what else we can learn from these drivers down here.
All right, Tony, thank you. As we mentioned earlier, if you are just tuning in on Flow, if you did not hear the announcement earlier, we're waiting for the ambulance. It is tending to somebody else on the property right now, and we must have the ambulance ambulance in the infield and cleared and ready to go before we can take the green flag in this main event. You're looking at Corey Day on your screen right there. Corey Day, a part of that great battle last year on Saturday here at Lakeside between him and Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson. Corey ended up 4th in that main event, but did lead a couple of laps. He's going to be starting a little bit farther back in the 10th position, but we know him and we know that he likes to get up on the wheel. If there's a car in front of him, that's his specialty, is trying to pass him as best as he can. And then there's a little bit of unsure, what's going on here with the track. I mean, they've got a B main on it and a dash on it, but a huge rework during the dash draw after the heat races, and so maybe these guys don't know exactly what the track's looking like here. Could throw a couple of them for a curveball. Maybe the crew chief's throwing for a curveball as well. There is Kerry Madsen, multi-time World of Outlaws winner, but never won with high limit.
But right now, we're going to go around and check in with a few other drivers.
All right, thank you, Tony. As he mentioned, going to roll off 18th there for Brent Marks. Got his first high limit win of the season last Thursday, about a week from today. 1 week ago. So Brent Marks does have a little momentum on his side, but going to have some work to do here in this A main, rolling off from 18th next to Brian Brown. Brent Marks last year here at these two races was 4th and 6th, so he does have a pretty good setup to get around Lakeside. It's just going to need to put that to good use here during this 30 lap, $20,000 to win Hasty Bake Grill's Kansas City Clash. So still waiting on that ambulance to finish things up over there here on the property, get back to the infield, and get back underway. Tony, what do you got on Brenham?
Brenham Crouch Chase, you're picking up here. We show you one car. We're going to talk about him next. Brenham Crouch starts 14th, the driver from the great state of Texas, Lubbock to be specifically. He starts 14th here tonight. He was right to the point. I didn't even really have to ask him a question, and Brenham just looked at me, and he made eye contact, and he said, attack. Now, I hope that means what he's planning to do on the track, not what he wants to do to me. As Mike Hess rolls by and begins to motion crew members off the racetrack. Noisy, good luck to you. Brenham Crouch says attack. That's what he has to do. If he can find a spot to fit his CJB number 5 in, there goes Kobe. He's excited to get racing here tonight. Brenham Crouch says, get in where you fit in, even sometimes if you don't fit. That's his plan for the Horizon Whiskey number 5 as he'll roll off 14th. Drivers are putting their helmets on. I think we're about to go racing down here, Chase.
We certainly are. The ambulance has made it back into the infield, and we are now very close to seeing cars get fired off here for tonight's 30-lap main event. Race fans, we appreciate y'all coming out here tonight. We know there are a lot of you, and we appreciate you cooperating with us, but we're trying to ask people to scoot a little bit closer together to try and get a little bit more seating here, because there's just so many people that showed up tonight here at Lakeside Speedway, so we really do appreciate you cooperating with that matter as well. Tomorrow night we head on down the road as a 4-hour overnight drive to the Tri-City Speedway in Granite City, Illinois. So if you are looking for a little bit of a road trip, High Limit will be in action tomorrow night as well. It is a little bit of a drive, but that's that's what road trips are for. That's what they're made for, is to drive. 4 hours over there to Illinois. Tony, you're going to be doing the driving tonight.
Yeah,
Cars now come to life for tonight's feature event at Lakeside Speedway for the final time.
Let's go.
Here is a song for the playlist of Brenham Crouch. From Brenham Crouch's High Roller playlist as the cars get fired off. They will get in behind the HendrickCars.com pace truck momentarily. We're very close to green flag action.
Sounds like somebody's shooting.
that are a part of tonight's main event. Gas them up a little bit and catch up to the HendrickCars.com pace truck, which is rolling down the front stretch now. In front of a absolutely jam-packed Lakeside Speedway. Had to tell people to get closer together so that we can make some more seating to get people in here. And that is always a good problem to have. Field will be led by Kerry Madsen and Austin McCarl. Two drivers. Pretty interesting storylines coming into this one. Madsen looking for his first national touring win since 2021. McCarl looking for the first of his career. Talked about it before they rolled off. He's been second 3 times between the Outlaws and High Limit. Led laps here at Lakeside last year as well. Couple more cars getting into their proper starting position before we do the parade lap here. Lakeside Speedway, welcome to the High Limit Room.
Look at that. Ooh.
It is time to double down.
All right.
How many minutes did you do?
The stakes.
Huh?
How many
And it
minutes
is
did you
time
do?
to go all in with
17.
Kubota High Limit
All
Racing.
right.
I got no time for that.
Breaking off the 4 wide in turn number 1. Getting back in behind the HendrickCars.com pace truck in turn 3. Kerry Madsen and Austin McCarl in row 1. Rico Aber and Brad Sweet in row 2. Kyle Larson and Tyler Courtney in row number 3. Casey Kane, Justin Peck in row 4. Row 5, Emerson Axon and Corey Day. 6th row, Scott Boguski and Aaron Reitzel. Row 7, Spencer Basin and Brenham Crouch. Row number 8, Tanner Holmes and Caleb Johnson. Row 9, Brian Brown and Brett Marks. Row 10, Danny Sams and Cale Thomas. Tanner Thorson, Ayrton Jennington, Dason Persley, Chris Martin. Your B-main transfers and Chase Randall utilizing a provisional to start 25th. 30 laps, $20,000 on the line.
20,000.
Oh,
Hurts.
I kept it simple. 3 miles.
Lakeside Speedway, we got them wrapped.
How many
We got them
minutes did you
stacked, and we've got the
many
grandstands
Oh, only
packed.
17 and a half.
Let's go race it over turn number 4.
17.
Mark Green. A little bit of a wonky start there from Madsen. He swapped lanes down the front straightaway. That allows Austin McCarl to go by and take the race lead away. Austin McCarl shows the way down the back straightaway. Rico Avery trying to make quick work of Kerry Madsen. He'll look to the inside and take the second spot away. Down the front stretch. Now Avery coming after the call for the race lead. Might see a slider in turn 1. Rico going to try and roll the bottom. We got 2 cars together in turn 4. The yellow's out for Brenham Crouch and Brian Brown.
Who's that?
Okay, I'll run in.
And that is a big break for Kerry Madsen as he got a little bit of a wonky start there. Got on the throttle, the car shot up the racetrack, and Austin McCarl drove right back underneath of him and took the lead away. But with the yellow on the opening lap, that will put the 55 Vermeer Motorsports car back to the front row. We have mentioned a couple times on this broadcast, Kerry Madsen, former Outlaw winner right here at Lakeside. That was back in 2014, 5 career top 5s against the Outlaws here. He did not qualify for the feature last season with High Limit Racing as they are still trying to untangle. Looks like they did get him untangled there. Brian Brown and Brenham Crouch. Crouch started in the 14th position. Brian Brown started back in the 17th position. So push vehicles getting in behind the CJB Motorsports number 5 and the Casey's General Store 21. Those 2 drivers will join in at the tail of the field. That'll move up both the inside and the outside rows for a couple of drivers starting more towards the tail end of the field. Crouch's car does refire. He joins at the tail of the
Here we
field.
go.
Brian Brown about to do the same.
Larson, I had lost the spot. Now I got it back, I guess. Or he's sixth. He might be sixth. I don't know.
He's 6.
His car just ain't
Trying to
going.
get the lineup in shape here before we turn the cars loose. Should be able to have that done by the time they get back around the next time by. For a complete restart here with Kerry Madsen and Austin McCarl on the front row. They're former Knoxville Raceway champions. Rico Abreu trying to keep his hot streak alive. Abreu has won a sprint car race each of the last 3 weekends in a row. Dating back to the World of Outlaws weekend at Knoxville, won the points opener at Knoxville the week later, and then won last week the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. So Rico has the chance to be in victory lane for every weekend for a month. See if he can do it. Come back to green for the complete restart here in just a moment. All right, back underway. Better start that time for Kerry. They'll roll the car to, oh, we got some contact and upside down.
Oh!
Front straightaway, Dason
Gee!
Pursley.
Oh,
He done.
Dason Pursley upside down front straightaway. The Boot Motorsports car.
oh my gosh.
Another one bites the dust.
Pursley rolled off in this one from the 23rd position. Had moved up a couple of spots due to that opening lap wreck between Crouch and Brown. On these 2 restarts, though, it's pretty apparent that it's just chaos coming down the front straightaway. Cars trying to find grip and find speed and make their way into turn 1. And maybe some kind of issue like that, a car getting sideways down the straightaways, but caused Pursley to wreck. Here is the comp cams replay. See Pursley at the tail end of the field there. Oh, yeah, that was the incident I saw up ahead. It was Caleb Johnson and Scott Boguski had gotten together. It looks like Tanner Thorson slows down there. He sees that wreck happening, and Pursley not able to react quick enough to go to the outside of him. Clips his back bumper and spins the car around, goes for a couple of barrel rolls. So the Pella windows and doors 13 is seen some better days here. And a tough start to the year for Dason Pursley. We've seen him get into a couple of first lap incidents on the West Coast swing, including Tulare, including Kern Raceway, as well as Paris. And Pursley, we have been told he's in the side-by-side, folks. He's coming by you right now. He is okay, making his way back to the pit area. Dason Pursley is okay. And so he is going to try and get everything back together for Tri-City Speedway tomorrow night. Going to be a long night for the Boot Motorsports crew. Got a 4-hour drive over to that racetrack, and now they've got to make a ton of repairs to the car to get it ready. So we will do another complete restart. Once again, did not get a lap in. Yellow lights come back on, and so the cars will refire. Track does appear to be in pretty good shape here for this main event. Last year, we talked about the top of the show. Both high-limit features here featured 3 different drivers leading laps in the main event, and I think 4 or 5 lead changes in each of them. Austin McCarl, as we mentioned, was one of them. He led 5 laps in the Friday night race, ended up in the 4th position by the time it was done. Excuse me, that was actually the 5th position he ended up in. McCarl, an ASCS National Touring winner here back in 2023. And there is Austin. He ran 2nd with us as well. He went to the West Coast in California, had a 2nd place run at the Parasado Speedway.
You should get ready to bed. Aww. Yes. No.
Race fans, when we get to Green Flag Racing, if you would please take take your seats. We have several people that are kind of higher up in the stands, and people are standing in front of them, cannot see the racing action. So when we go to green flag action, we would ask that you would please take your seats so that those behind you are able to watch the racing action. We really appreciate you cooperating with that as well. Once again, if you are standing, we do appreciate your excitement, but we do have some people behind you that would like to be able to watch the racing action as well. Thank you.
Those stands are not much room. Ain't nobody gonna sit down.
So HaterCars.com pace truck makes its way into the third corner.
Oh, I gotta go lock back
Once again,
in.
we'll get in behind. And we will try and hope for the third time the charm to get this race underway and get a lap completed. The first wreck, once again, that was for Brian Brown and Brennan Crouch. And the red came out for Jason Persley.
Babe! Oh my gosh! Ay, ay, ay!
With the couple of incidents at the start of this race, we have had quite the shakeup in the lineup, so I want to make sure that we have the drivers in their correct starting positions for this upcoming restart. And drivers are told they will go green, not this time, but the next time by. The lights will go out on top of the Kubota Highland Racing pace truck, and we will go green off of turn number 4 the next time by. Madsen and McCarl, Abreu and Sweet, Larson and Courtney, Kane and Peck, and then Axum and Day. With your top 10 starters. The Hasty Bake Grills Kansas City Clash is underway once again. On the outside, Austin McCarl gets a good jump and he'll make his way into turn number 1 with the race lead. Off of turn number 2, he will have it secure from Kerry Madsen down the back straightaway. Rico Abreu runs in the 3rd spot. Then it's Brad Sweet 4th and 5th at this point in time is the 7BC of Tyler Courtney. Courtney rockets around the outside, coming after Sweet down the front straightaway, but Sweet has that 4th position. Back to the inside goes Kerry Madsen, pulls up alongside of Austin McCarl down the back straightaway. McCarl separates himself into turn 3. Kerry's car looks pretty solid around the bottom side of the racetrack. McCarl chooses the outside. The top 2 starting to pull away slightly from Rico Abreu in 3rd. Kerry Madsen might have found something on the bottom side of the racetrack early on in this one. Only 3 car lengths separate the top 2 as they work back into turn 3. Austin McCarl, the pressure is on him, looking for that first ever national touring win. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Kerry Madsen keeping them honest. They're stapled together as they work through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Abreu still in 3rd. Sweet 4th, 5th is Courtney. Then it's Larson, Peck, Boguski, Kane, and Axum rounds out the top 10. Up front, though, still a dandy of a race between the 88W and the 55. And they've got traffic not too far ahead of them. Down the back straightaway, Austin McCarl's got to start figuring things out, where to go with the lap cars. They are all over the racetrack just in front of him. That time by, 5 down and 25 to go. Kerry Madsen back to the inside of Austin McCarl. No doubt McCarl saw the nose on the Premier Motorsports 55 that time by. The problem for your race leader is the cars in front of him are bottom, top, middle, all over the place. Kerry Madsen to the inside in turn 1, looking for the race lead. Pulls up next to him, pulls ahead of him. Off of turn number 2, might have a new race leader. They're side by side down the back straightaway. Good stuff at the front of the field. Austin McCarl on the cushion. Kerry Madsen trying to pay the tire ball on the bottom. He'll take the race lead away across the line. Kerry Madsen to the top spot. Now Brad Sweet looking on the inside of Rico Abreu. In turn number 2, Abreu holds him off. Down the back straightaway, may have been some contact between your top 2. Austin McCarl in the back pocket of Kerry Madsen. Off of turn number 4, Madsen still shows the way, but lap left traffic just ahead of him. 2 cars side by side. Danny Sams and Chris Martin. Now Avery to the inside of McCarl for turn number 2. Austin McCarl holds him off. Down the back straightaway. What is going to happen when they get to traffic? They got to start making some moves and making them now. Avery to the inside of McCarl for turn number 4. Can't make the pass. McCarl still hangs on to second. Now Madsen into the left traffic. To the inside of Danny Sams. Rico Avery underneath of Austin McCarl takes second down the back straightaway. Rico Avery into the second position. Brad Sweet now to third. McCarl dropping like a rock as they work up at turn number 4. Madsen still shows the way, but Avery looking to his outside. The traffic is still all over the place. McCarl's off the pace on the front straightaway. Austin McCarl into the infield. We will stay green. Down the back stretch. Larson has to the top wing of the Silva Motorsports 57. Kerry Madsen and Rico Avery racing for the lead.
Oh my goodness!
It looked like they both wanted the bottom, and there just was not enough room down there. Madsen went for the spin cycle into the corner, collected Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson. And potentially a huge moment here in the Highland Racing point standings. It's still very early on in the year, but with that issue for Brad Sweet,
that's the first.
No doubt gonna need to go to the work area.
Gosh.
And with the incident for Avery, or make that for Madsen, for Sweet, that's gonna move Tyler Courtney up into the second position for the restart. Kyle Larson, you saw him out of the Finley Farms 57. Brad Sweet and Kerry Madsen both out of theirs cars as well. Trying to get the 55 back on all 4 wheels here. Tyler Courtney entered tonight 83 points behind Brad Sweet. As we'll take a look at the Comcam's replay here. Kerry Madsen with the lead. He's trying to go to the bottom here. And Rico goes down there, together. Somehow Avery's car stays on all 4s, and Brad.
What have you done?
Front flip.
Oh my God!
Here's a good shot of it from our info camera in turn 3. Both drivers going for the same piece of the racetrack there, and man, Sweet absolutely smoked the front of that car on the racetrack there. Let's go downstairs to Tony Laporta.
Kerry Madsen's Vermeer number 55 is back down on all 4s, but that's about the only good thing to say about it. Kerry's getting out of the race car. That's the best news, race fans. Kerry Madsen is up and out of this race car. Kerry, first of all, are you okay?
I'm not sure what happened, but I'm not sure yet.
Well, we're glad to talk. Kerry Madsen is okay. Other side of this incident, Chase, Brad Sweet was out of his number 49 Napa machine for Casey Gate Racing, not receiving medical attention or anything of that nature. Ty Wolfgang, the newly named young crew chief on that 49, had made his way over here to the outside of really turn 3, if you're being honest about it. And Brad was already up and out of the car communicating with Ty as to what was wrong on the 49 and what would need replacing. Brad got back in the car, strapped himself back in, and they're taking that car to the work area right now. We're going to head over there and see what we can find.
Yeah, a huge moment here, as we mentioned, with the issue for Madsen and the issue for Sweet. That will promote Tyler Courtney to second in this race. And maybe even higher as Rico, his car got way up in there. You got to imagine there's got to be something bent on that car. But he will come back for the restart with the race lead. But Tyler Courtney entered tonight 83 points behind Brad Sweet. And this is very similar to Sweet last year at Placerville, when he got together with Zeb Wise and took a huge ride down the backstretch there. They were somehow able to get that car back on the track, and he finished the race. We'll see if they can do that once again here tonight. But, I mean, trying to figure out when the last time Brad Sweet did not finish a race, that would be a project that would take a long time to figure out. So I have to imagine they're going to do everything they can to get the Napa Auto Parts 49 car back onto the racetrack. There is Rico Abreu. All 4, at least the 3 tires we can see, appear to be all still filled with air.
Wow.
But that car was 4 wheels off the ground in the 3rd corner. We'll see a replay here, the Comcam's replay in slow motion. Abreu turns it down the hill, gets a huge run, on Kerry Madsen. And Kerry had been running the bottom for a majority of this race. They both get in there. Abreu's car takes a wild hop there, and then Brad Sweet right about this next hit right there had to certainly been something. Maybe the frame of the chassis there.
Gosh!
On the Casey Kane Racing 49 car. This is a great shot of it. Right rear to left rear contact. And somehow Rico, I just cannot believe he kept going after that, what just happened there. Tony, what's going on in the work area?
I'll be able to for this.
Sounds like we are going to try and hopefully hear from Tony here in a moment once he gets out of the work area and figure out what kind of repairs are trying to be made to Brad Sweet's car. We're getting a look at it here from the Flow Racing drone as we are still trying to get the 55 of Kerry Madsen's car onto the flatbed in turn number 3 before we can go back to yellow flag conditions. So the Casey Kane Racing and Mike Kerb team taking advantage of the cleanup efforts for the 55 car. They're going to try and work as hard as they can before the yellow lights come back on. 24D Danny Sams is also heading pit side. Did not see what happened to Danny Sams there in that incident, if he was a part of it or not. He was running in the 24th position at the time. Looking at Brad Sweet's results from 2024, his worst finish of the season with High Limit Racing in 2024 was an 18th place finish. That did happen at the Placerville Speedway. So not very often. Actually, his worst finish is actually 19th. That was at the last race of the season at Texas Motor Speedway when he got that incident with James McFadden. And it sounds like more action going on down in the work area over there. So Danny Sams into the work area trying to make repairs on the 24D. And as you can see, Kyle Larson's car has seen some better days there. He's already vacated the vehicle and made his way back to the trailer. So the Durst dice roll will not be claimed here tonight, unfortunately for our friend Robert Anderson. So Larson's car is exiting stage left on the backstretch, and Kerry's car is now rolling on the flatbed towards the pit area. And you can get a look at it right there. And that team is going to have some work to do as well, as they are scheduled to be at Knoxville Raceway tomorrow night. So some work to do on the 55. Good look here from our Flow Racing drone to see what is transpiring on the 49 for Brad Sweet. Looks like a front end swap potentially going on there, or it maybe already happened. Work going on the right rear. Looks like something going on in the cockpit as well. So Brad Sweet's going to have to restart from outside the top 20 here. Get back underway. Tony.
Jay, sorry, finally got back to some cell service here. So it was a complete front end swap on the number 49. They had to pop off the right rear tire. And then once they got to the right rear wheel, they noticed header damage coming out the right side of the engine. So they are having to work on that as well. Not sure exactly what's got the crew leaning inside the cockpit, as cars are finally going to get refired here with the cleanup of the number 55. Also, Danny Sams is number 24D, the driver from Northport, Florida. They were in with damage to the nose wing on the front end of his race car. And as you reported earlier, Kyle Larson up and out of that number 57. But I'll tell you this, there's a lot of work to get done for that Casey Kane Racing number 49 of Brad Sweet. They've got guys from a bunch of crews down there helping. Andrew Bowman from the number 9. The rest of that number 9 team are down there. And you talked about it. You'd have to work pretty hard to find the last time Brad Sweet didn't finish a National Wing 410 feature. I'm not saying it's going to happen here tonight, but they have a lot of work still to do on that 49.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here, Tony, from at least our drone shot here. They still have quite a bit to do on the car. They've certainly got enough hands in there to try and make the repairs happen, as there should be the Rico Avery. That car appears to be rolling around the racetrack just fine. So he will be the leader when we go back to green. Tyler Courtney should be in the second position. That whole sequence right there, that was the same exact lap that Austin McCarl pulled off the track. And so Madsen was first, Sweet was third, McCarl was fifth, and Larson was sixth. So a huge, huge shakeup in the top 5 and top 10 for this upcoming restart. By my calculations, Abreu will be the leader, Courtney second. Looks like Justin Peck will be promoted to the third position. Fourth for Scott Boguski, fifth to Corey Day. Sixth will be Casey Kane. Seventh, Emerson Axum. Eighth, Spencer Basic. Ninth, Brent Marks. 10th, Caleb Johnson by my rough calculations there. Still working on the 49 of Brad Sweet down there. HendrickCars.com pace truck is in turn 2. And here comes the push truck to the back bumper of Brad Sweet's car. And he is going to make it back out, it appears. Got to make a turn there. So getting the officials getting the lineup properly put back in order here. So it does appear that Justin Peck is up into the third position. Scott Boguski is in fourth. A great run right now. If the checkered was right now, that team would be thrilled. As here comes Brad Sweet, race fans. He's back onto the track after being upside down. Great work by that team to get him back out there.
Wow!
Brad Sweet is back.
But he's going to try and lift that thing home for a half-decent finish. Came in tonight 83 points ahead of the current second-place driver in points. In second place in this race, I should say, Tyler Courtney. The Frozen Farmer Pick Pint is going to make its appearance on the front stretch. Race fans, you see that thing down there on the straightaway. That is essentially the choose cone. Drivers must go either inside or outside of that Frozen Farmer Pick Pint. Whatever lane they go is where they'll restart for this upcoming restart. It'll be bottom or top. Looks like Rico's going to choose the bottom. Courtney to the top. Peck also to the top. That'll move Scott Boguski to third. He's still fourth, but he's on the inside of row 2 for the upcoming restart. And Brad Sweet, I think there's something broke on the 49. The right rear is dragging the ground. The right rear is dragging the ground on Brad Sweet's car. We're coming to green. We'll see how long he can hang on for. That thing is hurting right now. Abreu and Courtney back to green. Rico goes to the bottom in turn 1. He'll show the way down the backstretch. Scott Boguski getting by Justin Peck for a moment for third, but Peck takes it back away down the back straightaway. Here comes Casey Kane. Kane coming after Boguski for fourth off of turn number 4. Casey Kane's up to fourth now. Casey Kane now to the inside of Justin Peck, trying to take third away. He'll lose fourth though. Scott Boguski back by him off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Now Justin Peck to the right rear of Tyler Courtney, looking for second off of turn number 4. Tyler Courtney likes the bottom side of the racetrack. Justin Peck going to take his car straight to the outside. Off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes Justin Peck with a huge run. We've got one off the pace. Danny Sampson, Brad Sweet hangs a hard left off the track.
Oh my God! Another one.
So the yellow's out for the 24D of Danny Sams. And the 49 of Brad Sweet is going to try and get whatever was broken there on the restart fixed. Looks like maybe a right rear potentially down Sam's car. Looking at it from here, Tony.
Yeah, you wonder what's the issue with Danny Sams. I know my eyes were on that number 49 of Brad Sweet. As you can see, a live look there of Cruz jumping into tandem. Once again, I checked in with Andrew Bowman on Brad's teammate and car owner, Casey Kane's number 9. Front axle, shocks, the wing ram actually needed to get replaced on the number 49 as well as that right rear tire. And as we see them tending to that right rear corner once again, you just wondered, did possibly something in the fray of all those teams and all those different hands and bodies jumping in to help, did something not get connected, or at least tightly enough in that right rear corner, forcing the driver of the 49 Brad Sweet back off the racetrack? That caution was going to come out for Danny Sams no matter what. You want to talk about the lucky break of the race? That might just have happened to Brad Sweet here.
Yeah, we'll see if they can make the repairs, though.
Because, Chase, as you know, when you head to the work area with High Limit Racing, you get time during the feature. But once you visited the work area and you receive that allotted amount of time, You can return to the work area, but you are no longer guaranteed any specific amount of time. It's up until 1 to go. As the leaders come around here to split the Frozen Farmer pick point, if this is when they do in fact see the 1 to go, and Brad Sweet's not back out onto the racetrack, they would have to stay in the work area in hopes of another yellow flag coming out. Then Brad would be able to rejoin, but this is getting pretty tight right now.
Yeah, that is certainly the case. Frozen Farmer Pick Pine is out there. Rico's going to choose the bottom once again. Sunshine to the top. Pick Pine's heading back to the infield. The lights are out. And it does appear that Brad Sweet will be stuck in the work area and is going to be right now scored in the 21st position. Abreu and Courtney, a huge opportunity for them to maybe close some ground. The championship point standings are back underway. Rico leads the field into turn number 1. Tyler Courtney, first car to step out of line, trying to build momentum. Car back behind him, a little off the pace with Scott Boguski off of turn number 2. He's once again side by side with Casey Kane. Kane trying to get the top side of the racetrack worked in. Down the front straightaway, Casey Kane now coming after Justin Peck as well. They're almost 3 wide going into the corner. Scott Boguski takes third away from Justin Peck in turn 1. Scott Boguski up to the 3rd spot. Now Peck gets into the back room down the back straightaway. Maybe gets a little shot in the shorts right there. Scott Boguski nice and smooth around the bottom. Behind him, racing on for 4th position, Casey Kane trying to take it away from Justin Peck. Into turn number 1. Kane floats the middle right there. Does not work out for him, and Peck pulls away down the back straightaway. Kane fueling the heat from the 27. Emerson Axum now. Axum trying to crack into the top 5. He'll look to the inside of the HendrickCars.com number 9 car. Take that spot away. Emerson Axum now into the top 5. Scott Boguski still fighting with Justin Peck for the final podium position. Boguski looking for his best ever run tonight with Highland Racing if he can hang on. Justin Peck trying to get the outside of the racetrack worked in. Does not appear very fast down in turns 3 and 4. The top is good in 1 and 2 though. You see that right there as Peck gains multiple miles per hour as he rolls into turn 3. Justin Peck working the top end all by himself right now in the Ravine Racing 26. Side by side with Boguski across the line. Justin Peck has got the elbows up and he is working hard. He's got 3rd down the back straightaway. Past the halfway mark in this one for Rico Abreu. 18 in and 12 to go. Justin Peck, the show right now. Most cars around the bottom. He's like the first guy in the top 10 on the outside. Rico's going to have some issues, though, if he's going to have to try and start moving his car around. Multiple cars on the bottom right in front of him. His lead has grown considerably, though. Over 2.8 seconds the last time by over Tyler Courtney. Abreu, Courtney, Peck, Boguski, and Axum. Those are your top 5. The race for 3rd is still a good one. Boguski working back to the inside. Justin Peck now drops the car on the bottom. Takes the line away. Rico now taking his car to the outside in turns 3 and 4 as he encounters the lap traffic at the tail end of the field. We'll see if Tyler Courtney's able to close in. That time by, Sunshine took a half second out of the race lead. Top side of the racetrack in 3 and 4, just not quite as good as 1 and 2. And Rico's trying to get by Brian Brown. A 16.3 that time for Abreu, a 15.3 for Sunshine. Took a second out of the lead that time by the line. Car off the pace in turns 3 and 4. It looks like Cale Thomas is a problem. We are still green. Thomas able to get out of the way. Might check up a couple of cars in front of your race leader, but Cale Thomas, that car has an issue, and he's going to pull into the infield in the back straightaway. Rico now has 2 cars between himself and Tyler Courtney. 6 laps to go that time by from back to whoa, that was a close call into turn 1. Brenham Crouch right across the nose of your race leader. Abreu able to get by him and dispose of another lap car. Tyler Courtney trying to make his way through the traffic as well. He'll get by Brian Brown. Only 1.3 seconds separate the top 2. Courtney with a little mistake right there in turn 1, and Rico's able to pull back away slightly. This time by, 4 laps to go for the Messina Valley Transportation number 24. Still a 1.3 second gap between first and second. Issue for Scott Boguski off at turn number 2. Nearly lost the handle on the race car. Still runs in 4th. As it looks like Spencer Basin moves his way into the top 5. Basin gets by Emerson Axum. He's up to 5th. Spencer Basin looking for his first top 5 finish of the year with Highland Racing. Rico Abreu. This time by 2 laps to go for back-to-back wins with Highland Racing, but Tyler Courtney has closed the gap considerably. That time by 0.8 of a second between first and second. Down the backstretch, here comes Tyler Courtney. Might have something here on the final lap. Coming to the wave of the white flag. Abreu still working on a couple of lap cars. Tanner Thorson and Ayrton Jennington. 1 lap to go. Rico around the top. Tyler Courtney diamonds it off the corner. Within 5 car lengths down the back straightaway. Looking for victory into turns 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4. Rico Abreu's going to get the win. At the Hasty Bay Grills Kansas City Clash. Tyler Courtney second. Third goes to Justin Peck. Fourth to Spencer Mason. And fifth goes to Scott Laguski.
Back-to-back wins for Rico Abreu. He gets it done. Here tonight at Lakeside Speedway in a wild one. Tyler Courtney second, Justin Peck third, fourth goes to Spencer Mason, fifth goes to Scott Laguski. Emerson Axum, Corey Day, Aaron Reitzel, Brett Marks, and Tanner Holmes round out the top 10. Casey Kane, Caleb Johnson, Chase Randall, Ayrton Jennington, Tanner Thorson. Brown Crouch, Chris Martin, Brian Brown, Cale Thomas, Danny Sampson third, the top 20. And then Brad Sweet, Kerry Madsen, Austin McCarl, Kyle Larson, and Jason Persley.
So Rico Abreu is making his way across the scales now, and if it is official, that'll be 4 weekends in a row with a sprint car win. Got the win with the Outlaws back at Knoxville, won a week later at Knoxville for the season points championship, won at Texas Motor Speedway, and it looks like it is official. Rico Abreu headed to Whiskey Myers victory lane. About ready to climb up on top of the Messina Valley Transportation number 24. How about it, Kansas City? Your winner here tonight, Rico Abreu. Off the right rear, he'll jump off and talk to Tony Laporta.
Rico Abreu, he's running around. He doesn't know where to go to celebrate. He's going to get the Hasty Baked Charcoal Grills hat. We're going to hook him up with a Chasm Safety Technologies wind sticker here in just a moment. You probably need some hydration. That was a wild and a woolly one. So much start and go, stop and go, stop and go. Back-to-back jacks with high limit racing. How'd you do that one?
Just a little disappointed in myself, to be honest, just for putting myself in that position with the 55. And I just want to apologize to Tony Vermeer and Kerry. I just pressed the needle there, and I needed to be a little more patient myself. You just get really excited when you get to lap traffic, and it's easy just to kind of stick your nose in. I just hate racing like that. Like that's something I've really wanted to develop, those habits of my career of not putting myself in awkward positions with my race car, and I'm just proud of my guys. They execute all these nights, and they leave it up to me when I get out on the racetrack. It's amazing to race in front of so many fans tonight. I know Lakeside needed to see something like this, and then the racing was put together really well there, and they made some good decisions on track prep, and my team did an unbelievable job just making those last minute calls to get my car really good, and it's just very fortunate and grateful to be driving a fast race car right now.
You're driving a really fast race car. You hit on a lot of great points there. Lakeside did need to see an event like this. How about this crowd, though? They didn't go anywhere. They stayed to watch you and the rest of the high rollers do battle here tonight. All right, you get the issue with the 55 out of the way. We were going to talk about that. Let's talk about something else. Championship points. You come in here 4th. You pick up your 4th victory in as many weeks. Bigger news, Brad Sweet did not finish this race. How does that affect your season moving forward? Albeit early, that changes things, doesn't it?
It doesn't affect any of it. We got 40 more races to go this year, and you know, this is you know, a position where I got to go back and study and just to understand the process of the race there. You know, I just got a little impatient about lap 10 and when we caught traffic and you know, stuck my nose in on the 55, and just you know, I'm pretty disappointed in myself to put myself in that position.
Well, Rico, great crowd here tonight. The boys from Hasty Bank are here hanging out with you. But as always, something you're very proud to be a part of with Kubota High Limit Racing is when a high roller, a full-time driver with the series, scores a feature victory in 2025. An angel donor who supported this series last year has agreed to come back and send $1,000 to any charity that a high roller chooses every time they win. Where's your $1,000 going to tonight?
You know, it's just incredible what the angel donor and High Limit have put together. Just giving so much notoriety to these foundations that these drivers can direct, you know, $1,000 to. And this year and last year, I've been matching that $1,000 every time we win and donating it to Jackson's Superhero Foundation. It's a foundation that specializes in just getting the word out there on muscular dystrophy and the Hunt family. And Jackson, I know they're watching tonight, and thank you guys so much for tuning in on Flow to all these races. You know, and every win we get this year, we're going to donate, and I know a lot of partners of ours are going to donate to the foundation. So it's just an incredible cause, draws so much awareness to these foundations that don't necessarily get a lot of notoriety.
Well, that's really cool because we know you do the win sticker for that. Director of Excitement, Jake Ingram's going to bring in your second Chasm Safety Products win sticker. Big thanks to Chasm Safety Products for what they do with High Limit as well as the sport of sprint car racing. Back-to-back Jacks with High Limit. This one's a bit bittersweet. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank all you fans. This is just sprint car racing's been so incredible the last few years, and it's always really, really exciting, and you know, I'm just grateful I'm in this position.
2 nights in a row, your winner with Kubota High Limit Racing is Rico Averill. Chase Rodman, talk to us for a moment.
Yes, Tony, we need to talk about a couple of contingency award winners here. Of course, we got to talk about the Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Race. That was Chase Randall after a provisional. Drove from 25th to 13th, and in the process also grabbed the Rod and Supply Hard Charger. And also Rico Averill was the Chase Golf Cart's fastest lap award at 14.935 seconds. That was on lap 14. So congrats to our contingency winners here tonight.
All right, Tyler Courtney down here, he thinks he's a contingency award. Well, that's not what you are. You're a second place finisher. You did it coming from 6th, and it was a lot of attrition in this race. What did you see from behind your steering wheel of that NOS Energy Drink 7BC?
Just hard racing, and then, yeah, I think space ran out there, getting into 3 for some of those guys, and yeah, luckily we were far enough back that we you know, missed all of that. So yeah, put ourselves in a good spot for the rest of the race, but just we're just a little tight for the long run there on the bottom, and needed to get back to traffic so we can move around. I felt like I was better moving around than just, you know, being committed to the bottom, but just kind of let Rico get a little too far out there. But man, they're a hell of a team. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. But our whole NOS Energy Drink, LS Custom Trailers, Fire Motorsports team had a great night. To bounce back from a 16th on you know, last Saturday to rebound with a second tonight is just says a lot about what we're about, and yeah, just happy for my team and my guys, and we'll move on to Granite City tomorrow and try and get our first one of the season.
Tyler Courtney from 6th to 2nd shows off exactly what year-long championship point racing really is all about.